I speak for AIADR. Due to the lockdown imposed, we have had difficulties to access our workplace. This has brought a number of challenges. These challenges include the struggle to obtain daily management information as everyone is working at home away from one another. In turn, it affects our ability to take action swiftly. Now, having to work at home during a pandemic also requires us to move the entire management, including document management and communication online, which increases our cyber risk. I come to a basic example, like hiring new interns before the lockdown is imposed. Even if it's a restricted movement control order, has proved to be quite a challenge. Now, our interview and consideration stage, it is more difficult to assess potential candidates virtually. The delegation and assignment of tasks to interns has also been difficult from an employer's perspective. We cannot completely monitor and guide them virtually, making it difficult for us to determine if a specific task is manageable for the interns. Now, it is a two-way communication. We need to be approachable. At the same time, they need to reach out to us. As AIADR is now able to expand the opportunity internationally for foreign workers to gain insight onto how an institute such as ours works, I think that is the plus point for the challenges that we face.
For us in CAB, it's basically the absence of movement and normality, in the sense that now we are restricted control, so social and physical mobility is actually greatly, and organizations like CAB is actually a professional body, so a lot of social interactions between members happens in the normal process. That's how we grow professionally, because we meet with people, we share experiences, and that's what has been happening for long.
During this pandemic time, ASEAN facing many challenges. We cannot organize seminar, AGM, council meeting physically due to movement control order, the MCO, implemented in Malaysia. During this MCO period, we are not allowed to cross state and district. ASEAN also cannot commit the right dates for the seminars or courses due to uncertainty of the MCO period. Where in many occasions, the events have been postponed or cancelled due to the extension of MCO. We are also facing the problem of less inquiry on new membership application, and some members delay in paying membership renewal fees due to the pandemic.
The Malaysian Institute of Arbitrators is a professional organisation and is the National Institute of Arbitrators in Malaysia. We are dedicated to facilitating the practice and study of arbitration and other alternative dispute resolution methods. There are many obvious challenges that our members have faced and continue to face during the pandemic, especially our members who are in the industry of construction. As we know, the construction industry is one of the hardest hit industries due to COVID-19, the impact of which will continue to be felt in the years to come. Apart from the obvious difficulties, one of the main challenges that the Institute has faced is that the pandemic has restricted us from communicating and connecting with our members in the same way as before. All physical aspects of our events had to be put on hold.
CALCC Malaysia is a duly registered non-governmental organisation in Malaysia formed by lawyers from various states in Malaysia. We are a platform for communications, cooperations, expansions and mutual development between the legal and business communities in China and ASEAN, as well as the information hub of China-ASEAN's maritime silk roads in the 21st century. Our mission is to promote China-ASEAN's economics and legal cooperations and improve multinational legal service quality. Therefore, one of the biggest challenges we are facing during this pandemic is not being able to travel cross-border to organize legal market visit to China and other countries in ASEAN.
When the pandemic hit and we found ourselves in various forms of lockdown, we made a decision to take all our events and initiatives online. The use of technology in virtual hearings, virtual events, etc. is not something new in arbitration and ADR sphere. And in fact, the ADR community prides ourselves as a group that easily adapts to our surrounding circumstances. We had webinars on all forms of ADR processes, arbitration, mediation, adjudication, and we recently had our inaugural MIArb Fight Club, which is a debate series, and the debate motion was on the impact of artificial intelligence on the future of arbitrators and lawyers. We have also just completed our 7th Annual Law Review 2021. Perhaps a silver lining in all of this, brought about by the advancement in technology, is that the world is now borderless. We are able to communicate and connect with anyone on the other side of the world with just a click of a button. This has allowed us to share our insights and experiences of arbitration and ADR practitioners from all parts of the world, and also very importantly, it enabled us to connect with our members based outside of Malaysia, who make up about 20% of our membership. Other than online events and webinars, we have adapted to the new way of doing things by converting our Diploma in International Arbitration course, which is done in collaboration with Brickfields Asia College, to an online diploma course. By evolving with the times, we were able to continue to provide education and training on arbitration and ADR to our members and those who have such interests. The diploma course offered was in fact so well received that we far exceeded the number of students expected for the course. We are also currently working on remodeling the structure and syllabus of our other ADR-related courses to suit online learning.
In response to the pandemic, SAL continued to serve the members via online platform. We also move forward to online for seminar and our council meeting as well.
In response to the pandemic, we have made use of the technologies such as Zoom and Facebook Live to organize and co-organize online conferences. Between 22nd of April 2020 to 9th of May 2020, we have successfully organized via Zoom and Facebook Live the CALCC COVID-19 Law Series with lawyers from 22 cities around the world within 18 days. We have also co-organized other conferences such as the Ad Hoc Arbitrations Forum 2021 and the COVID-19 ASEAN Mediation Forum 2020, which involved parties from Malaysia, Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, Singapore, India, Bangladesh, the Philippines, and Mauritius.
But I think for professionals especially, one of the key things is actually continuous professional development. And it used to be a time that we used to spend quite a lot of money to go and attend conferences, physical conferences. Of course, it's got its benefit. You actually have a physical interaction with people and meet people. But now, in terms of gross knowledge that we can get, it's becoming cheaper to do on an online platform. And of course, also there's a lot of availability now more than before from conference producers to ask for speakers, collaborate with them, and so there's a lot more opportunity for professionals to actually improve themselves in terms of gross knowledge. But I think in terms of socializing and making business contacts and professional contacts, that is still slightly lacking. But I see that there are a lot of new ideas coming up on platforms. But we are now only exploring into that arena. So I think that this is actually for during the lockdown, one has got more time to improve themselves by attending all these online conference and workshops.
The first change that we have had to do is working from home. It has become the norm, so we have had to have virtual meetings on Zoom. We have to engage our staff, we have to boost their morale and keep everyone updated on the latest events that are going on, and also get them to report back. Our operation now revolves around the use of shared online platforms. This enables daily management information to be easily obtained and more accessible compared to the traditional ways of using emails. Now we encourage our colleagues to conduct scheduled changing of passwords from time to time. The virtual working environment makes it harder for us to precisely track individuals accessing and obtaining our platforms and documents. Within the Institute, we have adopted an open door policy during this period. Having to work from home, an open door policy allows for newly hired staff and interns to be integrated smoothly, quickly, information to be obtained more quickly. In turn, it affords to us an informed decision-making process.
During these difficult times, we should be more creative and more innovative on products or services to the members. We also should be open-minded and adapt to the modern technology.
In order to sustain continuous self-improvement during these difficult times, we can take advantage of the free online conferences and seminars, or to volunteer yourself to help out in these organizations in exchange for a Zoom link or an entry ticket. Or you can also join professional organizations to exchange knowledge and ideas.
I believe the first is the ability to multitask and to be adaptive. It is also important to have the right mindset and not shy away from tasks and responsibilities, because by working at home, you carry a greater responsibility to be self-disciplined. Now, sometimes this can lead to a feeling of being overwhelmed, but with encouragement and also the ability to multitask, you should be able to focus on what matters and coordinate the work accordingly. Change is only constant. You need to be flexible enough to accept the new norm with an open mind to fit the current market demand in the midst of the pandemic. Now, time management is equally important. A good sense of time management allows the identification of priorities, and you have to plan your time and work wisely. This is important, particularly when you're working at home, when we have a multitude of distractions, particularly if your bed is there and you'll be thinking, it would be nice to lie down. And I think the other important thing which I have found, that I have to be willing to learn. This is something very new to me, and you have to be proactive in solving problems, communicating with your colleagues, and try to reduce the possibility of miscommunication so that a more efficient workflow is achieved.
In these challenging times where we are not able to communicate and connect in the same way as we did before, we must keep ourselves updated and abreast of the latest developments within arbitration and ADR, whether it is the latest cases, practice and procedure, or general developments on these matters. Conferences such as this Construction Claims and ADR conference is a very good avenue for us to keep up with the latest developments and to connect and network with like-minded practitioners and users of ADR. At MIArb, we had just completed our annual law review, where our central theme was the evolution of ADR. We had a session on surviving, persevering, and thriving in the era of COVID, and a session on the evolution of experts' evidence. In these times, we should not allow the restrictions caused by the pandemic to hinder our developments. I will recommend those who have not to embrace technology, as it is now the most effective way to obtain further knowledge and information.
I think basically, like most of us, we are sort of forced to use online digital platforms. In a way, it is good because the platforms existed before, but we never really bothered to, use it. Although many multinational companies have been using for a long time, and it was expensive before. So during the pandemic, I think prices has actually gone down for the usage of digital platforms. And also, people are also forced to use it. So once you start to use it, you find that it is actually convenient. So one of the things that in CAB we did is that today we have a regional center in Hong Kong, and then we have the headquarters in London. Before, they used to fly down here quite expensively to meet us, and to work with us. But today, we can actually do the same thing. Not exactly, the best way, but we can still get the communications up and going between Hong Kong and London and Malaysia, and achieve most of what we want to do. So, if you one good example is actually the last conference we had in April, whereby we went fully virtual. Now, for the past 4 years, we've been doing it physically at AIAC, and this year was the one that we experimented with going online, and it was quite a resounding success, much to our surprise, actually. And also, I think it reaches a greater deal, more delegates than what a physical conference could have ever achieved.